My name is John Borland. I'm Measured Survey Manager with Historic Environment Scotland, and my chosen object from Elgin Museum is the Dandaleith Pictish symbol stone. There are about 20 odd Pictish symbol stones from along the River Spey, and some of them, in my opinion, represent the art form at its finest. And the Dandaleith Stone, which is the newest discovery, is just such an example. It represents Pictish art at its best. What makes the Dandaleith Stone a little bit special though is that it has two pairs of symbols carved on it. On this face we have an eagle symbol over a crescent and V-rod, and on the other face we have a mirror case symbol over a notched rectangle and Z-rod. So that gives us two bites at the cherry to be able to look at the artistic quality of these symbols. Both pairs are very good, but I would say that the two on this side, the mirror case over the notched rectangle, are slightly better in their artistic representation. It's a difficult one to say because the two other symbols, the eagle and the crescent V-rod, are more eroded, they're more weathered. But I would still say that artistically this pair are the best, and it's quite nice to make that comparison. It's not totally unusual for a symbol stone to have more than one pair of symbols on them. We have other examples of that type. The Dandaleith Stone is unusual in that it is two adjacent faces rather than a front and a back that have been used. But again, I think there's probably quite a prosaic reason to explain that, namely that these were the two best faces suited for carving, and so when it was reused for a second time with a second pair of symbols, they went for the best face possible. Of the two faces that are carved, the one with the mirror case and notched rectangle is very straight and smooth. I think there are signs on the surface that the whole face of the stone has been dressed and smoothed out. This side with the eagle and crescent on it has a bevel on it, but still fairly smooth. So that might infer that this being the best side, this is the original carved side, the first one to be used, and then the secondary one is here. We don't know what time difference there is between them, but I say probably it could be some kind of generational difference, so two different generations making the mark on the stone. If that is the case, if this is the first carving, this is the second, certainly the preservation of the symbols doesn't reflect that because this is better preserved, but it may be that when the stone toppled, it toppled with this side, the eagle and the crescent, being uppermost and therefore exposed to the elements. Given the state of preservation of the best preserved side, it seems likely that it may have toppled over quite early on in its lifetime. I don't think it stood for many hundreds of years before it fell over. So it may be that we're looking at some kind of event like the Muckle Spate, but something that happened in prehistory or early history that isn't recorded. So maybe shortly after this was erected in the 7th or 8th century that it was undermined and fell over due to some monumental flood of the Spey.